When does a casual worker become something more than casual, with increasing numbers of workers on casual contracts? That's an important question. And what's the cost of getting the answer wrong? Well, it appears it's about $8,000. That's what the Bay of Plenty District Health Board must pay former health worker Wendy Rahiri, who took a case to the Employment Relations Authority when her shifts at Tauranga Hospital suddenly stopped. Let's look at this. RNZ's employment reporter Max Towle has been reading the decision and joins us now from Wellington. Hi Max, what happened to this woman?
Yeah, look, I think this is an absolutely fascinating decision, not just because employment's my beat, but I think it is something that affects thousands of New Zealanders. Basically, Wendy Rahiri was hired on a casual contract. She worked night shifts, 7 or 8 shifts a week on a regular basis. One night there was some sort of incident involving a patient, and she found out a complaint had been made about her. Now, she was told she had to switch to morning shifts. Now, because of her family life, she said she could only do evening shifts, but work basically said, no, we want you to do morning shifts, no option. She turned down a shift and was sent home and basically didn't get any offer of work again. Cue lots of phone calls, emails, trying to find out what had happened, what the complaint was, so she could defend herself. Finally, she had an investigation meeting with the board and senior staff, and she was told that a minor complaint had been made about her by a colleague, and that she that a formal investigation would happen, and she possibly faced dismissal. Obviously, she was very upset, and she resigned.
Okay. Max, it's interesting you used the phrase on a regular basis. Have we any idea how long Wendy Rahiri had been doing these shifts for? Because that would seem material.
Yeah, look, the main issue for the Employment Relations Authority to consider, that's where she took her case for constructive dismissal. She'd resigned, but she said that resignation had basically been forced by her employers. The issue it had to consider was, as you say, what is a casual, what is a permanent?
Yeah.
She had been doing regular shifts, 7 or 8 shifts a week, night shifts for several weeks, about 3 months from memory. So it looked at that and said, look, she's on the roster, she's relied on for work, the Tauranga Hospital relies on her. Essentially, scrap the contract, she's a permanent employer. So it ruled in her favour. It said that she didn't deserve to be treated the way she was, and the hospital really should have told her what the complaint was sooner and that it was investigating. It awarded her $7,500 in emotional harm and 2 weeks' wages. Now, I should actually say, about a few minutes ago, the DHB sent me an email saying it would appeal the decision. It thinks that this is illegal and its contract is binding and should be held up.
Okay, this is fascinating, isn't it? Because this isn't about the specific only, it's about the universal too. And if the appeal fails and the decision is upheld, what does a decision like this mean, Max?
Well, as I say, thousands of people out there are on casual contracts, and I believe many of whom don't really know what their rights are. They look at a piece of paper that says they can be called into work at a drop of a hat, and when the work dries up, they don't have a complaint to make. This decision shows that if someone is doing regular hours, is working, 3-4 shifts a week, they're essentially a permanent employee. They're relied on for work, and there's this mutual expectation of work that exists, and that, in the Employment Relations Authority's opinion, is a permanent employee.